Welcome back to the Breakout or Tactics Talk. Today we're diving into Special Operations Forces, but more specifically the Spetsnaz and how they're used by the modern Russian military. So let's dive right on in. I'm going to drag a PDF over. I'm going to drag it back and forth several times. Let's start with this circle portion right here. I really want to highlight this because you're going to see why. Spetsnaz is a general term used by the Russian military to indicate that a designated unit and subunit has a narrow specialization. This label may apply to engineer, signal, reconnaissance, or other types of units. Another thing we want to talk about right here is this portion right at the top. The SV, or just general Russian ground units, are tactical level units and do not control these forces, but do use the intelligence they generate in the support and support of tactical actions. Let's bring that back over. Don't worry, you're going to see a lot more of that PDF here in a moment. Now, let's dive into our Spetsnaz forces currently displayed in this simulation. So this is Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm. If we go over here to the unit dashboard and click on subunits, we can click on our Spetsnaz forces and generally see what their weapon loadout is. I'm also going to show you what their current or rumored weapon loadout is in the modern Russian military. Alright, this is a Cold War game, so as you see, there are the Conqueror's ATGMs. They do have a decent amount of range. If we were to move over to the elimination unit, I believe has, if it works right there, has a sniper rifle light, right? A sniper rifle, because that's a different mission. Remember, the Spetsnaz have reconnaissance mission. They operate at the strategic level, so they're going to have a varied mission. Grenade launcher, they have different types of sensors as well. This one more specifically has night vision, whereas the strike team, if we were to click on it and go to sensors, has thermal imagers. The explosive team generally has satchel charges, which can be a bit challenging and interesting to use. And then if we go down here to the diversionary units, we can click on the diversionary units as well. So similar to real life in Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm, there are different units. They have different devices, they have different sensors, and they have a different mission set. So that's important for us to note. And if you come over here to the battlefield, you'll see several command units as well as a possible nuclear weapon system on the battlefield that can generate nuclear fires. So the new generation of warfare construct states that there's no clear distinction between peace and war, and the employment of all elements of national power are essential to accomplish a national goal. Now, I'm gonna demonstrate to you before we discuss more, the current weapon systems and capabilities of the Russian Special Forces, or the Spetsnaz. If I can make this big, there it goes. Alright, so here's what they currently, the team will be equipped with, or current equipment they may have, as you see right here. Remember, it's supposed to be a highly mobile unit, and its kit may vary, but it's also going to have crew-served machine guns, a mix of small arms, and more special weapons, such as like grenade launchers, different types of RPGs, anti-tank mines, and ATGMs. Below are the different vehicles they'll use on the battlefield right here. As you see, it's supposed to be a highly mobile unit. As I draw through everything, armored cars such as the Lynx, the Bravo Mike Delta 4, the Gaz Tiger, and just the helicopter Mi-8. Remember, they have a very specific mission set, and they need different weapon systems to go along the battlefield. Now, the GRU Spetsnaz are now primarily an information and intelligence gathering force. They may conduct limited direct action missions involving sabotage, demolition, assassination, sniper, or other low-level attacks. The SSO envisioned as a more robust fighting specialized force. They may conduct several different strategic operational level missions, airborne insertion to seize key areas, strategic operational levels, and I'll let you read all of that because I'm stumbling over the words. A mission typically not performed by the Western special military operations or counteractions. Go ahead and pause it right there if you want to review that. I stumbled a little bit. So that just talks about how they're more of a special warfare system, how they function on the battlefield. The KSSO, or just generic special forces, destruction of high-level command posts, kidnapping, assassinations, or local national leaders, and destruction of strategic nuclear platforms or critical command communications and control networks. So it's a relatively varied mission. There's different levels of special forces. There's like the SSO, the KSSO, the VDV, the GRU. So the VDV is primarily just a mobile airborne unit. The KSSO is just generic special operations, and then you have the GRU Special Spetsnaz Forces, which are a really narrowed specialty force that conduct general reconnaissance but can do low-level operations at the tactical level as well. And remember how we discussed earlier that these units can spot and track units and provide that information to the standard Russian ground forces or just general units on the battlefield. In this mission, we do have a nuclear delivery platform capable of dispersing nuclear weapons or just causing nuclear fires, and we do have a critical command post. So it's generally a target-rich environment, and we can affect the NATO forces on a strategic layer because these are a strategic weapon system. So we have our Spetsnaz ATGMs, and their main goal is to engage with these Bradleys and nuclear delivery platform. Whereas we do have all these other units, we will go more in depth in later videos on how to utilize them either within the game or the tactics surrounding them. I believe there's a few more things I wanted to cover in this PDF, but let's just get to some quick simulation and we will see how this battle plays out. Let's that battle play out, and as you see, units begin moving all over the platform. That command unit is kind of dispersing itself from the nuclear delivery, and we're actually going to right click this unit and adjust its SOPs, and we're going to give it the maximum possible range, and it possibly just hasn't spotted these units. Remember, these units are really difficult to spot. If we hit Control L, we can actually see what he can see from his current position. So this town right here is currently preventing him from seeing into this hex and this hex. So he does need to get either right up on it or just over here. So we right click this unit and we just give him a move deliberate all the way up into this position. We'll just generally move that unit into position, and then we'll just kind of get this elimination force all the way up here as well, and maybe you can drop a satchel charge on that command element. And these units shouldn't engage with us. They're told not to fire, so let's just let that 15 minutes play out. And right now we're just issuing orders. Remember, they're a highly mobile force. They need to stay mobile on the battlefield. If they generally are not mobile, like if they're assigned like T-72s or something like that, they would definitely have a hard time moving around, engaging units, things of that nature. All right, so that force is almost in position. Once it's in position, he should engage that delivery system right there with an ATGM, which is exactly what he's doing. He spotted it, he begins engaging it, and he takes that strategic weapon system off the battlefield. And as you see, we do have a diversionary force as well as an explosive force. So if we wanted to move this unit up to use those satchel charges, technically I believe the range is 50 meters. He would need to be directly on that objective. And remember, these guys are fully capable of engaging us and targeting us. I currently have them on a hold order, and that's primarily the reason they're not engaging us at this moment in time. So we hit Control L, we'll play through that 15 minutes, and he actually does engage. So this unit was able to get into position without being spotted by that nuclear delivery platform, which is really interesting. I wonder if they have any more of their explosives left. But let's see how that battle plays out. And they were actually destroyed. I mean, they're stumbling directly onto whatever this unit is, a Bradley. So several Bradleys. We're not exactly sure how many Bradleys are there. But when we try to utilize those platforms, they're generally going to struggle a little bit. So there's nothing wrong with that. So now let's dive back to this PDF document, see if there's anything else I highlighted. One thing about that we need to separate from the unit forces or the Spetsnaz and the VDV is right here in this paragraph that I'm currently looking at. The organization capabilities of the VDV are similar to other combined arms units and subunits. The specialties of the VDV are its airborne, air landing of soldiers, and equipment-based requirements of assigned mission tasks. The VDV units provide heavier fires and maneuver forces projected against critical targets. So I really want you to read that and kind of understand the specialty. A lot of people kind of mix that up as well. And then they also talk about the different platforms and how they're modernizing the VDV, providing them with more recent equipment, more modern equipment, and generally keeping them on the battlefield. So we saw that the VDV employment during the Battle of Ukraine or the war in Ukraine, obviously at the Homstol airport, where the VDV launched a massive airborne assault and attempted to seize the airport, which was both like smart and not smart at the same time. So let's move this last unit into position, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you liked it, disliked it personally. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And we're just going to continue getting smoked by these Bradleys. Actually, we're returning fire. So those satchel charges definitely difficult to use, and I will link this resource down below. Hopefully you guys like this type of content, and I will see you next time. Peace.